Some of life's best learnings come from life's toughest situations. Well, due to COVID-19, I think we'd all agree that 2020 was a pretty rough year. But the double whammy for me came in June of 2020 when I was diagnosed with cancer. What do you do with that? In this video, I'll share some key business learnings I gleaned from my cancer journey. Hello, I'm Dennis Snow, and this is Speaking of Service Excellence. I always try to learn from whatever situation I face, even something as serious as cancer. And by the way, my cancer treatments were successful and I'm fine now. But when I reflect back on my cancer journey, I've been able to make several connections between my journey and the customer service concepts that I teach in my professional life. I believe these learnings apply to any industry and any organization. So here goes. Number one, communication. Overall, I'd say that the communication between the various healthcare teams treating me was very good, as was their communication with me. When, for example, I was checked into the hospital for a surgical procedure, it was a seamless experience with everyone knowing what everyone else was doing or what they had done. The quality of the communication in this case certainly built my trust in the expertise of everyone involved. There were, however, a few communications breakdowns along the journey. Difficulties in reaching a particular provider for information, an extremely poor bedside manner from a key player on the team, confusion over who was doing what and when. Now, while these situations were exceptions, they were frustrating and they eroded trust. They made me wonder about the quality of care I was receiving at that moment. So, lesson learned, communication quality and trust are inextricably linked. Number two, presence. I mentioned the poor bedside manner of a key player on the oncology team. We requested and received another oncologist. But overall, the care and compassion demonstrated by the doctors, nurses, and other clinicians was excellent. I almost always felt that they were not rushed and that they had time to answer any questions my wife and I had and to respond to any concerns that we expressed. I felt that they truly cared because they were in the moment for my wife and me. They were present. When I reflect on the few exceptions to this feeling of care, I can confidently say that it was because a particular healthcare professional was simply going through the motions, processing me rather than treating me. In other words, they weren't present. And at those times, I didn't feel valued. I felt tolerated. And that's not a confidence builder. So the lesson learned, presence and a sense of care are inextricably linked. Number three, expectations. I was shocked by how many moving parts there are to cancer treatment. As a patient, you're bombarded with information, all of which is important. And fortunately for me, my wife, Debbie, is highly organized and put together a binder with the ever-expanding volume of information. I don't know how I would have made it without her help. Because of the potential for confusion, it was vital for the treatment team to manage our expectations regarding what was coming. For example, what side effects to expect from chemo and radiation treatments, when to expect those side effects, and what could be done to manage them. I certainly appreciated knowing what was going to happen before it happened. Inevitably, there were some missed opportunities for effectively managing our expectations. The one that frustrated us the most was waiting all day and most of the night for another surgical procedure. No one could tell us when it was going to happen, or they'd say, it'll happen in about an hour. The surgery finally took place around 4 o'clock in the morning after hours and hours of waiting, not knowing what was going on. It takes a lot to get me upset, and this was one of those times. So the lesson learned, managing expectations and customer satisfaction are inextricably linked. I am so thankful for my treatment team. As I've said, overall, they made the best of what was a scary, emotional experience, and they saved my life, for which I'll be eternally grateful. The problems were few and far between. But as I think about the good and the rare negatives, I realize that the lessons learned from my experience can apply anywhere. They make up the basic blocking and tackling of good customer service. Number one, because communication quality and trust are inextricably linked, err on the side of over-communicating rather than under-communicating. Don't assume your customers know what you know. Number 2, because presence and a sense of care are inextricably linked, be in the moment for those you serve. Let them know for at least that moment they have your full attention. And number 3, because managing expectations and customer satisfaction are inextricably linked, use your expertise for informing customers of what to expect. Don't think that customers will fill in the blanks. Do it for them. You'll be a hero. So here's something to think about. What learnings have come from some of your recent experiences? And how can you apply those learnings to your organization? I hope you found the ideas in this video to be beneficial. If you'd like information about how Snow & Associates can assist your organization, or you'd simply like access to additional customer service resources, please visit our website, www.snowassociates.com. Thanks so much for watching.